Hi, my name is Alanna Ramos, and this is my narrated recipe project for Anthropology 212 Food and Culture. My recipe is the pineapple upside down cake, and I would just like to apologize in advance if you can hear my dog snoring or if you can hear noise coming outside my apartment. I'm in my room right now, it's just the quietest place that I could find, so you might hear people outside at the basketball court outside my room. Just a little backstory. I learned this recipe from my mom when I was in high school. I remember my mom used to make this dessert when I was little. She'd make it for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It was one of those things that we always had. And I finally got to learn it when I was older. And this was actually my first time making it myself since I've moved out of my parents' house and into my own apartment. The picture on top is me and all my siblings. My mom is in the white top, and I'm right next to her with the blue bottom or the blue wrap. I'm also the picture underneath for reference, holding some of the ingredients needed. So the ingredients that you're going to need are 1 box of yellow cake mix. I chose Betty Crocker, but you can choose any yellow cake mix. It really doesn't matter. I just chose the first one that I saw on the shelf. And the ingredients on the back of the cake mix box, it's going to tell you that you need 3 eggs, a half cup of vegetable oil, and a cup of water. I actually used pineapple juice from the cans of fruit instead of water. I think it just gives it a better taste. And a lot of recipes online will tell you that you can do that as well. You're also going to need a 3/4 cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of butter, which is 4 tablespoons, 1 can of sliced pineapples, 1 can of crushed or diced pineapples. I got the chunks or the diced pineapples, and then 1 jar of maraschino cherries. So these are the tools that you're going to need. I used one 8 by 13 pan, one of the glass baking ones, one mixing bowl and a whisk, a baking spatula to even out the batter once you pour it into the pan, and the measuring cups for the ingredients, as well as paper towels to pat dry the fruit, and toothpicks to make sure the cake is done. First, you're going to prepare your cake mix. You're going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and the instructions for the cake batter are actually on the back of the cake box, so I didn't feel the need to put it on the slide. You would usually just follow as instructed on the cake mix box, and then you're going to set it aside because you don't want to put it in the pan yet. You're going to leave it in the bowl. Next, you're going to prepare your fruit. So I had already opened one of my cans of pineapples to use pineapple juice instead of water when making the cake mix. But if you used water, you're going to open them both now, and you're going to drain the juice from both cans. And then you're going to put the pineapples on a plate and pat dry them. You want to make sure that they're as dry as you can get them for now, because if they're wet, then it's just going to make the cake batter wet, and it's just going to take longer to cook. And then you're going to set that aside. Next, you're going to prepare the baking pan. You're going to want to melt a 1/4 cup of butter or 4 tablespoons of butter. And while the butter is melting, grease the sides of the pan with a stick of butter. After the butter is done melting, you're going to pour the butter into the bottom of the pan and tilt the pan back and forth to make sure that the butter is evenly coating the bottom of the pan. Then you're going to put 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar into the pan and cover the bottom in an even layer. Next, you're going to want to put the fruit on top of the brown sugar and butter. After you're done putting the fruit in whatever design you like, then you're going to pour the batter on top of the fruit. Using a spatula, pour it slowly and evenly on top of the fruit and make sure that all fruit is covered. Then you're going to want to shake the pan a little bit to eliminate any of the air bubbles. After that, you're going to put it in the oven, and the back of the cake mix box tells you how long to put it in for. I believe it's 29 to 33 minutes. I put mine in for 30 minutes and kept adding time after checking to see if it was done or not. I like to put it in for less time and then just keep adding time so that I don't burn the cake or overcook it. After that, you're going to let it sit for 20 minutes so it can cool, and then you're going to slowly flip it over onto a pan, and it should easily exit the glass pan and onto this baking sheet that I put it on. After that, you just slice it up and enjoy.